Hello everybody and welcome to another, what will be a very short Bentley Davy Tutors video where I'm purely just going to go over surface area and volume. I'm going to do the formulas for all of the sort of important shapes that you could be asked about. Because this is a section that would, this is a unit that would always be in this calculator section of a test. There's not that much sort of theoretical work that we can go over. It's more so just making sure that you know how to put numbers into your calculator correctly. But I will go over the formulas that you need to know. Firstly, you've got your incredibly basic area sort of formulas, which are just going to be, for a cube, you've got the area of one face times the number of times that faces occurs. So for a cube, it's times 6. So that's basically just width of one face times length of one face times 6. That's your surface area of a cube. Volume is just, it's just basically width times width because it's a cube, so they're all going to be the same. A rectangular prism, you're going to have potentially 3 different types of faces, potentially 2, based on that, like, yeah, because that depends on whether or not you have a square on one side or not. But basically, once again, surface area, all you're doing is getting the 3 faces or 2 faces, which could be the end one and then the top one and then the side one. You find each of them, just the standard area of each of them, and then times each one by 2 or by 3, depending on how many times it occurs within these 6 faces of that shape. So just a normal area. Circle is pi r squared is area. That's fine. That's all you need to know. Triangle, half base times height. This should all be huge revision stuff. Parallelogram is literally just base times height, but the height does have to be the perpendicular height. So you just have to think about working that out with maybe needing to do some Pythag in there. And then, yeah, then we jump forward to the actually important things. So we're going to start off with a trapezium. Again, this is just area, not surface area, but you could do surface area or volume very much so with this because you would need it. So the area of one face or of the face of a trapezium is equal to the 2 parallel sides. You get the average of them and then times it by the perpendicular height of the trapezium. So you'd go, say that was A, that was B, and then your perpendicular height was C. You'd go A plus B on 2 times C. A sphere. The surface area, this is where we get to the actually important ones. A sphere, the surface area is 4 pi r squared, so it's basically equal to 4 circles. So you get the radius, square that, times it by pi, and times it by 4. And then the volume is equal to 4 on 3 pi r cubed, or 4 pi r cubed on 3. It's the same thing, but basically you get pi r cubed, so pi times whatever the radius is cubed, then you divide it by 3 and times by 4, and there is your answer. So the second last thing that we're going to do here is a cone. Basically, the area of a cone should be the only confusing thing, which is pi r squared plus pi r s. That's the area of the cone. The pi r squared is the bottom circle, and then, this is for the surface area of the cone. And then the s there in the pi r s, that is the slant height. That's the quite confusing bit, because you wouldn't have heard of that before. Basically, that's finding the area of that whole face that's like the roundy bit. How you find the S? Yeah, so S is slant height, so that is found using Pythag. So basically you go down, across, so that's the height of the cone, that's the radius, and then that length along there, which is the side of the cone, is the slant height. You can just use Pythagorean theorem to work that out. So the height squared plus the radius squared will be equal to the slant height squared. So then the volume of the cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. This is quite an easy one. It's the same for a pyramid, except it's not pi r squared, it's just the area of the base. So the pi r squared again is the base, but then it's 1/3 of that times the height, which will give you your volume. Last one is a cylinder. Basically for the cylinder, you've got the surface area is equal to so you've got 3 faces there. You've got the top circle, the bottom circle, and then the round face on the side. So top circle and the bottom circle are exactly the same. That's just pi r squared. You get one of that. Then the last one that you have to do is the circumference times the height of the cylinder. How you work that out is you get the circumference, which is pi d, and then times that by the height. So it's just pi dh. So it'll be equal to 2 pi r squared plus pi dh. Yeah. So, yes. And then the final bit is the volume of a cylinder, which is just pi r squared h. And that is all we have time for on the surface area and volume video. I hope you enjoyed. It was a much shorter one. That was the idea. So hopefully that was good format. Yeah, make sure to check out our other maths videos. And if you did enjoy or learnt something, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.